Excellent. How is everyone today? That was not awesome for a Thursday afternoon. So who is doing okay? I just want to know what levels I'm gauging with here. Who's doing okay? Okay, we've got 2 people. Thank you for being honest. So we're going to work to take that up to awesome. Who is doing good? Okay, oh, a lot more goods. So it's going to be a little bit easier to take that up to awesome. Who's doing great? Wonderful. So we're already there. And so think about that. Think about, we talk about in healthcare, we have, the HCAP survey, and on there we discuss the 9s and 10s, right? What's 9s and 10s? Excellent, right? It's great. What's 8 and below? It's average. It's good, right? So how often do you walk down the hall and say, hey, how are you today? And what's the normal response? Good. Good, fine, okay. So why in the world would we expect people to say it was outstanding, it was excellent, when we are conditioning each other to say it's good? Even on a day where I'm watching someone have a great day and they're like, it's good. Why? Why do they say that? It's comfortable. It's the expectation. It's there. It's conditioned. We're not thinking about it now. So think about that. I want to challenge you to start using the word great. And if you're not at great, challenging yourself on how you make that choice. And we're going to talk about that today. You only live once. So Joey said it. There's a term that's used, YOLO. And I'm going to tell you that that term is rather interesting, and we're going to discuss why and my perspective, my thoughts on it. And as Joey said, I'm the Vice President of Talent Development. I've been with Regional Health for almost a decade now, and I love this opportunity to work with different emerging leaders to see over the years. I was just talking to Jake, and Jake, it's been 2 years now since he started this journey, started this process. He's doing some great things as a supervisor with imaging, and just seeing that level of growth and the change and where we've come as an organization and how that happens from day to day. So has anybody ever used that term, YOLO? Oh my, there are a few, right? Jamie's raising her hand. And it's such an interesting term, and so some people like to use it. You only live once. Now, who believes that? Who believes that to be true? You only live once. Everyone's raising their hand, right? And they're like, what's going on here, right? So I'm going to tell you that that's actually fiction. You only live once. Okay, why do you think that is? Because fact, you live every day. You get a brand new day every day. Okay? Now, you only die once, all right? That is true. But every single day, you get a chance, as long as you wake up, and say, I've got a chance to do something different today. I've got a chance to make an impact. Maybe yesterday was a tough day. What am I going to do to actively change that today? How am I going to impact the way that I experience life with the people that I come into contact today? What lasting impressions am I going to make with the people that I get to experience today? And so do we go with that mindset? And this is huge as a leader. I talked with a leader, this was, 5-6 years ago. And this was a person that had been in our organization for many years. And he said, Jared, I never knew the impact that I had on people's lives on a daily basis as a leader. And he said, I would walk in. And I'd walk in, and he was very much business-oriented, mindset. Got to take care of the goals, got to get the results that I got to get, and people come second. And that was just his natural mindset. I know you all talked about the DISC profile, right? Some of you maybe haven't yet, but getting to that point. And in there they talk about the different behavioral styles. And higher Ds and higher Cs are much more task-oriented first, relationship-oriented second. And higher Is, higher S's, more relationship-oriented first, task-oriented second. So this individual, he was a higher D, very high D, And so he would come in and he was focused on the task. And one day someone came up and said, do you know how it affects me when you walk right past me every day and you don't even say hello? And he stopped and he said, no, I don't even think about it. And she said, it starts my day off. Now, granted, there's multiple parts to this, but she said, it starts it off on a negative tone each day because I'm wondering, okay, how is this person feeling today? What am I going to have to interact with today? And so there's both sides there. One side being that this person had a great opportunity as a leader to impact those that they came into contact with each and every day. Now, on the other side, the person was choosing to let the fact that this person didn't say hello to me interpret the way that she decided to feel and how she interacted. And so it goes multiple ways, but we each have the accountability and the choice to say we live every day. Does everyone know Dwight Schrute from The Office? If you don't, you're probably wondering, what is that? But he likes to say fact. And fact is, you live every day. So power of choice. You heard me talking about it. Life is what you decide it to be each day. It truly is. It's what you decide to make out of it, what you decide is the choices. And this is always interesting because I have people where I've talked about this in different aspects with some of the different things that I've worked on with some team members. And they say, yeah, but there's different circumstances. There's different circumstances that you're not aware of or you haven't experienced. So you can say it's choice, but there's still these circumstances. Okay, what would you say to them? It's not rhetorical.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Circumstances. You choose how you react.
Yeah, they exist. I don't have a flip chart, but I would use it right now. You know, we tend to be told and we condition ourselves to think that point A to point Z is a straight line. And that's the way it's going to go. Knowing full well it is not going to go that way, right? There is going to be big marks up, big marks down. It's going to be all over the place. Those circumstances exist. It's a part of our reality. Still our choice on how we respond, how we recover, how we pick ourselves up, and how we interact and treat other people. And this is huge as a leader. You know, I've seen individuals that wanted to call themselves leaders that turned around and when it didn't go A to Z the way that they thought, well, that's your fault. You know, and that's not okay. And I've seen others that have said, hey, here's an opportunity. Let's grow together in this. Let's figure out what we can do here to make it a great experience. You know, and I ask that question, who's okay? It's your choice to be okay. It's your choice on how you're looking at it, how you've allowed those things that you've experienced today to impact you. Same with many of you that said good. I don't want to live every day as good. I want to live every day as great, as excellent, as outstanding, and embracing it. Because each day I get to get up. And my wife's not quite there yet. She does not get excited about it and does not understand how when I wake up and jump out of bed and I'm ready to go, how do you do that? And I'm so excited because I've been able to model that for my son. And his alarm goes off on his phone and he jumps up and he's ready and he's excited for the day at hand. And she's getting there. You know, 15 years of marriage will do that. So circumstances will always be present, still a choice on the response. It truly is. Doesn't matter the circumstances. I'm going to talk a little bit later about a circumstance that happened to me, and you know, it was huge. It was life-changing, and there's all of those along the way. Sometimes it's a disease that happens. Sometimes it's a natural disaster. Sometimes it's somebody betraying trust. There are multiple different circumstances that are going to happen. And yes, I can get upset. And yes, it's going to hurt. And yes, there are going to be times that it's so awesome and celebratory, and I'm so surprised that this happened. All of it, though, is still a response in the way that we choose. We choose to live that day, and we choose to live the next, and how it actually impacts others. Because I don't know about all of you, but I love when I'm around those people that are having a great, outstanding day because they've chose it versus the ones that are having an okay day. You're not going to pull me down. So, anybody know this gentleman? Who is it? Simon Sinek. I'm so glad that you know him. So Simon is a mentor for me, whether he knows it or not. Simon has called me on the phone before. That was a wonderful gift that my wife reached out and talked with Simon's people. And here, lo and behold, he called one day and just to say thank you. And for those that don't know, he's got a very busy schedule. So I knew how much that meant. And, it's something he does all the time. And he lives his life to inspire others. And he sees it, the world in a different way because he chooses it. And some of you may have read his book, Start With Why. Number one, finding your why, finding your purpose, what connects you, so that each day you can pull that back to what you're doing. Because if you don't know what that is, it is going to be hard to say, wow, this is great today. This is great when I'm having a really difficult day. Like yesterday, how many looked at the weather and said, oh, really? I got to deal with this? Anybody? Yeah, we got some very honest people. I love it, right? But you could look and say, this is going to provide some interesting opportunities. Okay? It's more of a zig than a straight line today to work. We'll see what happens. And so there's some quotes up here that I want to read them so I don't mess them up. Usually I don't like to read things off the slide. But, a leader's job is not to do work for others. It's to help others figure out how to do it themselves, to get things done and to succeed beyond what they thought possible. And that's truly it, as emerging leaders thinking about that this is a very selfless role. And there's where there's a lot of confusion at times. People want to jump into what they call a leadership role because they feel like, and I think all of you, I know some of you are entering in right now, but you remember the picture of the real nice sports car and then the old beat up car, right? So most people, they get in that mindset if they're not really looking from a leadership standpoint, but they're looking to say, there's some glory there. I want to get into it because it's that nice sports car and it's going to give me this and it's going to give me that. And what they usually find out is it's not fulfilling. It's not enough. I want more. Versus the people that get into it to inspire, like Simon. And it's so interesting when you get to see behind the curtain. Because sometimes people may say, well, is he really like that all the time? And so in... What year is this? It's 2017, right? So in the year of 2008, that's when it was, 2008, I was in a friend's wedding. I was one of the groomsmen. And I got to, I knew two of the individuals, but I knew the best man and I knew one of the other groomsmen. And then there was a third groomsman that I didn't know. And it was one of my friend who was getting married, his